Emily Carter believed her life now ran on rails, fixed, narrow, predictable. Ever since the car accident 3 years ago, every day followed the same pattern. Wake up at सुबह के 6:30 बजे. Physiotherapy at home. Coffee by the window. Laptop open by 9. Freelance design work until evening. Dinner alone. Sleep. Habits had replaced dreams. Habits didn't disappoint. So when Lily, her relentlessly optimistic best friend, insisted she go on a blind date, Emily agreed out of pure routine, the habit of saying yes just to end conversations. It's casual, Lily promised. Just dinner. Emily didn't believe her for a second. The restaurant in downtown Chicago confirmed her fears. Crystal lights, soft piano music, valet parking, the kind of place where people stayed a little too long at wheelchairs, pretending not to. Emily adjusted her jacket, suddenly aware of every movement, every sound of the wheels against polished marble floors. This is a mistake, she thought. Then she saw him. He stood as she approached, not abruptly, not dramatically. Just enough. No rush to grab the wheelchair. No exaggerated smile. He simply waited until she reached the table. Hi, I'm Daniel, he said, sitting down across from her, not towering over her. Eye level, equal, that alone unsettled her. Most people tried too hard. Or avoided looking at her at all. Daniel did neither. As they ordered, the waiter spoke directly to him. Sir, would you like? Daniel gently interrupted. She'll decide for herself. The words were simple, casual, as if he did this every day. Emily felt something tighten in her chest. During dinner, Daniel didn't fill the silence with rehearsed charm. He asked questions and waited for the answers. When Emily talked about her work, he didn't say inspirational or brave. He asked about color palettes, deadlines, clients. Normal questions. When Emily dropped her fork, she instinctively braced herself for that familiar moment, someone lunging to help, drawing attention, making it about her chair. Daniel didn't move. He waited. Emily picked it up herself. Their eyes met for a second. No pity, no discomfort, just respect. Halfway through the meal, Emily realized something unsettling. She was relaxed. She wasn't monitoring her posture, or rehearsing explanations, or preparing for that inevitable awkward question about her accident. Daniel never asked. He talked about books he read every night before bed, a habit, he said, that kept him grounded. He mentioned how his company meetings always started on time, because punctuality wasn't about clocks, it was about valuing people. Habits, always habits. Emily didn't know Daniel Brooks was a CEO. She didn't know this date was supposed to expose him. She only knew one thing. For the first time in years, she didn't feel like a problem someone was trying to solve. And Daniel, unaware he was on a fake date, was simply being who he always was. That, quietly, was what changed everything. That night at the restaurant had slipped into her routine like a dangerous thought, when she tried to ignore. She told herself it meant nothing. One good evening didn't rewrite a life built on limitations. Habits existed to protect her from disappointment. Then, 3 days later, Lily showed up at Emily's apartment, eyes red, hands shaking. I messed up, Lily whispered. The truth spilled out in pieces. The date wasn't random. It was arranged by a non-profit that worked with influencers and executives, testing how powerful men treated people with disabilities. Daniel Brooks wasn't just a nice guy. He was the CEO. Emily felt the room tilt. So I was a test, she said quietly. No, Lily cried. He didn't know. That's the point. He passed without even trying. That night, Emily didn't sleep. Every small moment replayed in her mind, the fork, the waiter, the silence Daniel allowed her to own. Had it all been an act? 2 days later, there was a knock at her door. Emily hesitated, then opened it. Daniel stood there, no suit this time. Just jeans, a jacket, and 2 cups of coffee. I hope this isn't strange, he said. You said you liked Colombian roast. I remembered. I know about the setup, he continued. And if you want me to leave, I will. Emily searched his face for embarrassment. For anger. For ego. She found none. Why did you come? She asked. Daniel exhaled slowly. Because cancelling would have been easier. And I've learned something about myself. I don't trust people who always choose the easy option. He told her about his childhood. A small house in Ohio. A mother who worked double shifts as a nurse. How she corrected him once when he held a door open only when others were watching. She said, Daniel, kindness isn't a performance. It's a habit. And habits define character. That lesson shaped everything, how he spoke to interns, how he ran meetings, how he listened. And how I treated you, he added softly. Not because you were special. But because you were a person. Emily's throat tightened. No one had ever said that to her so plainly. Weeks passed, then months. Daniel didn't rush things. He showed up consistently. Coffee on Thursdays, texts that didn't demand replies, invitations without pressure. That consistency did something therapy never could. Emily applied for a creative director role at Daniel's company, on her own. No favors. She earned it. Her confidence grew. Her life slowly shifted from survival to intention. When a reporter later asked Daniel about the viral story, the fake date that exposed a CEO, he smiled. I wasn't exposed, he said. I was revealed, and I liked what I saw. Emily, watching from the sidelines, smiled too. Because the most powerful thing Daniel ever gave her wasn't love. It was proof that habits of respect can rebuild broken worlds.